Boardroom TV, where business meets insight.
I'm Paul Hanratty, Group CEO of Sanlam. So this year, when Sanlam published its ESG Barometer, we took a different look. We had a look at how the G20 and B20 are going to shape the future of policy, regulation, economic growth. And we looked at what success factors generally feed into these sorts of events, making a difference for the future. In the past, we've looked at purely what corporates are doing on the ESG front, but we thought this year it was apt to look at what the B20, it's Africa's first B20 hosted by South Africa, should be doing. And we concluded that many of the themes from the past, whether it's youth employment, getting over the digital divide, solving problems of economic growth, making sure that we create an environment both around climate, around social inclusion, financial inclusion, around governance structures that create a sustainable world for us. How do we get those things to happen? Brazil laid tremendous groundwork. I think South Africa's done a great job in the B20. We've been working very well as a business community with government, and we're very optimistic that the recommendations that we make to the G20 will at least in part see their way into the future. I think South Africa itself has obviously made tremendous progress over the last 30 years. We find ourselves at a very interesting juncture with a coalition government running the country. And there are still enormous challenges that face us. But I think what we concluded here today in the panel discussions was that the spirit of South Africans, the spirit of cooperation between business and government, society, is there to drive us to the future. And actually, I think at Sanlam in particular, we're very, very optimistic about the growth path for South Africa. We acknowledge that we've had a very difficult decade or longer behind us, but we think that lots of the steps have been taken for reform, and we think that there's a very bright future and that growth will pick up and tick up, and that all South Africans really need to put their shoulder to the wheel. We mustn't make it somebody else's responsibility. Each corporate, each individual, each person in government should take responsibility to see what they can do to move the agenda forward and create a better future for all of us. Well, Sanlam has posted very good results, and we've had a good run for a number of years. But we do see huge opportunities going forward. The African continent has the highest rate of growth of any continent in the world right now. We're very optimistic that that will continue. Penetration rates for insurance are low, so that gives us a growth trajectory. And we've partnered up with Allianz, one of the biggest insurers in the world, to bring IP and knowledge and a bigger portfolio to the African continent. So we see Africa as one huge growth engine for us. We also see India as another huge growth engine. India is probably the star economy in the world. We've got a very strong business there. We've had a partnership for 20 years, and really we're in liftoff there with a very competitive business. But that doesn't mean that the base here in South Africa is getting neglected. We're also very, very optimistic about growth prospects here, and we're doing a lot to expand our business, to build a bigger ecosystem so that we can take other products and services to our South African customers, and really to transform the way in which financial services are delivered in South Africa, to be cheaper, to be better value, and to make ourselves much more accessible. And this building of the demographic in South Africa and what we think will be a recovery in growth prospects is going to feed into our business in years to come.
Boardroom TV, where business meets insight.